Hello, World of Tank Blitzers, and hopefully a few future mom rads. Hey, I'm Littlefinger, and today doing a full tank review on the Wolverine. You can see it here in the garage. This is an American Tier 5 TD with a fully rotational turret. Started to really enjoy playing TDs lately, and if you can give me a TD with a turret, oh, it's heaven. So much fun. A lot more dynamic playstyle than just your standard TDs. So this is a fun tank, and we will get into why here just in a minute. Hopefully you guys are staying safe. It's pretty crazy weather out there these days. Fires in California, snow in Texas, snow in Florida. Here in Georgia we got about 8 to 10 inches, and I tell you what, pine trees do not like snow. Lots of damage in the yard. So anyway, waiting for the snow to melt, and I've got myself a lot of yard work. But in the meantime, we'll do this full tank review. Let's take a quick look at the tech tree, and we'll pull up the Wolverine here, kind of in the middle there. Moves on up to the Jackson. You can take the Hellcat route up to the E4. That's a super fun line in my opinion. As you can see, I've made it all the way to the top there. As far as going on to the Jackson, that's the last of your turreted TDs in this line. You go up to the T25AT, T28, T95, which everyone's pretty much afraid of just because it's so difficult to penetrate from the front. And then, of course, the E3, which I hear is also pretty fun. So I'm working my way up this line. Obviously, great guns, just horrible mobility. So they're a little bit of a challenge, and in my opinion, not a lot of fun to drive. Looking at setup here, consumables, as you can see, I'm running a repair kit, the multi-purpose restoration pack, and of course adrenaline, which is fairly standard for my setups. Running protective kit, improved fuel, and case of cola. Could certainly see an argument for adding additional fuel in there, as this tank is a little bit on the sluggish side. As you can see here, I don't even have a full loadout of ammo. You can run about 30 rounds of AP, 10 of APCR, and I'm running 14 HE, but the pen on the HE there at about 20 is not very good, so don't use HE very often. And then, of course, remember on your Pramo, you can change that from credits to gold, from gold to credits by checking that button on the right. Looking at equipment, again, a Tier 5 tank, do not suggest you spending any spare parts on this, but I am running the gun rammer. Gets that rate of fire up to 11.6. You can see here from the calibrated shells, our penetration number is just right under, I think it's 128 for AP. Which is very good for this tier. So I don't need the boost here from running calibrated shells. So we're going to go with the gun rammer. As far as vitality, I am running the defense system just because this is not really a tank you play on the front line. I'm not really worried about getting rammed in this tank. And with the changes to the equipment here, we've got 7% reduction in the chance of ammo racks, so and 8% to crew. So these are some good items in my opinion. So that's why I'm running defense system. And then also improved optics, getting that view range up to 262. Seems to be, in my opinion, better than the camouflage net. So we can look real quick here at the level 2s. Kind of a toss-up in my opinion. I'd probably go with the enhanced gun lane drive. The aim time on this tank is actually one of the best for the Tier 5 TDs, but you know, I'm not sure, unless you sit on the back of the map and you're sitting in cover, I don't know if supercharge is really going to help out too much. So EGLD here, enhanced armor versus improved assembly. Again, Our armor's not very good, so you're not getting much with a 4% increase, and you're only getting 35 additional hit points here. My opinion, don't spend the spare parts. The only thing I could think that maybe you would want to spend spare parts on this tank is the engine accelerator. Get that horsepower up. Get that. You're not going to get any additional speed, but you are able to get up hills and so forth. And with this being an American tank, playing on hills is by far and away the best way to play this tank. All right, guys, here is blitzstars.com. I've got the M10 Wolverine on the left, the rest of the Tier 5 TDs to the right. The T-67, the other American tank destroyer, is the only other fully turreted TD. The rest have limited aiming arcs, and you're going to have to move the whole tank if you want to change your aim. DPM 1752, we are right in the middle there. Penetration 128 towards the bottom, and our alpha is only 160, but we do have a very high rate of fire. We can get that over 11 with equipment. So that is how we're able to pump out the 1752 in damage. Aim time is very good with this tank at 1.54, but the dispersion is a little on the high side for these tanks. But to me, I felt like the gun was quite accurate and didn't seem to be too much of a problem. The nice thing about this tank, outside of being fully rotational 360 degrees, is your 10 degrees of negative gun depression. Make sure you are using that to your advantage. Play it on hills, and that should be your playstyle really for any American tank that has the good gun depression, or some of the British tanks with good gun depression. Play it on hills so you're hiding most of your tank and only your turret is showing. Moving on to movement and mobility, we're at 48 kilometers per hour as our top speed. It is one of the slower TDs. And it is kind of one of the downsides to this tank, in my opinion. You'll see here our engine horsepower is 462, but we've got rather bad terrain resistance at 1.1. So our effective horsepower per ton is 14.8, which you can see is one of the worst out there. And it does make the feel of driving this a little sluggish. Moving on to the miscellaneous and extras, you can see our credit coefficient's only 105%, so it's not a great money-making tank. View range is right in the middle. Hit points of 560, again, right in the middle. And then your hull armor of 51 and turret armor of 57 millimeters. You can see, it's, again, right in the middle. It's not the greatest armor out there, but it's not your 20 or 22. So you can use that to your advantage, again, on the hills, and only be showing as limited amount of tank as possible. Make sure you're angling it properly. And looking at the average damage there of 767 is one of the worst as far as the TD goes, which is a surprise to me. I thought this tank played pretty well. I think probably what happens to a lot of people with this tank is they get too overextended on a map, and with its lack of mobility, you're caught out, you're getting shot from multiple directions, and it's not a good situation to be able to defend yourself. So make sure you're using cover, staying behind, and just peeking out, taking your shot, and getting back behind cover. So use some of these as metrics for improving your play, and let's go ahead and take a look at some gameplay. So first game I've got here is Asus Palms as bottom tier supremacy, and I was hoping that ARL would come with me, but I saw that he was turning, so off to the right we go. And probably for the best, as their entire team goes to A while we go and cap C. Which is fine. As a TD with negative 10 degrees of gun depression, we'll happily stay out here in these hills. Throw in a blind shot there, just hoping for the best. And we are far enough away that I'm not too worried about getting spotted, which is why I'm turned sideways at this point in time. Otherwise, I would recommend, getting the front armor pointed towards the enemy tanks, but we're over 300 meters away. Our team has done a pretty good job in getting in and getting some spots, although they are all behind those buildings. There's the Leo. Get a shot in on him. We are down a tank at this point. T1 has got some nice frontal armor, so bounce that first shot and put an APCR shot in, hoping he was still there at that same spot. Now down 2 tanks. AMX 12T into the side there. See if we can't get another one in before. Nope, he gets behind, but he's gonna. So we're showing some good accuracy. 315 meters there. There's the Leo again, and we are sitting on the top of this hill, and we still haven't been spotted. Now we have. So we'll get down low, get behind some cover. Team has brought it back. We're now ahead on points. ARL is going to show me the side of his turret there, and we still bounce. So trying to use this gun depression here, and ARL gets down into the valley before I can get a shot in on him. We're now down a tank. This is getting kind of hairy. But again, I'm not trying to do anything to keep myself. I know they're going to have to come to A if they want to retake this cap. And I'm just keeping an eye on the clock here. We're at 670 and counting. There's the AT. If you give me up, we bounce that. So as you can see, do have some difficulty with penetration. See that AT is headed this way, so I'm gonna push on to the side. Getting some nice friendly advice on how to play this game. We are at 780. Just want to get another kill. So ARL's in my targets here. He's turned sideways. He misses, and we get another shot in. He's probably still a 2-shot. Want to make sure this last shot goes in. He's turned to me. But we finish him off. We're at 9-10 now. And the AT bounces that first shot. We're trying to keep that AT from getting beside us. Try to look at that hatch. And probably should have seen here that I think it was that AMX was in on me. But we're at 970. I am keeping an eye on this clock. 980. Really would like to finish this guy off, but I'm getting hit from behind and I'm killed. But guess what, guys? We got to 1,000. So we managed to hang on long enough to win this one. With 1873 in damage, 1 kill. That's a problem with this tank, with the turret being so slow. It would have been difficult for me to turn around and shoot that AMX. So second game here on Mirage as bottom tier again. Only one of 2 tier 5s. So I really do like the middle of this map. I think there's some really good hills to play. There's some good areas for protection. And so kind of hard to see through all the boxes and stuff at first. So we'll just take some guess shots here. We do take one. I really didn't want to take that one that early. But But we are just skirting over the top of that hill and getting some shots in. Now I see they start to push hard around the outside, so I want to try and get in there and flank them. You can see we bounced the KV-1S. But I want to get around to this mound here, as they are all going to be sitting behind these rocks. So I'm going to come out very carefully here and just try to expose myself to one tank and then shoot and back up. KV-1S gets a shot in there. One of those frustrating things, we hit the tracks but do no damage. Kind of worried about this VK coming over, so I'm going to back up. And you know, that's one of those things you got to keep an aware map awareness here. He's going to come up, we'll get a shot in. So he's only got 30 hit points left. I'm really hoping it just a HE shot there to the turret, but kind of hits the mantlet and doesn't. Oh, I don't even know if it hit the mantlet, but anyway, we took another shot there that I really shouldn't have taken. But we finish off the KV-1S. It's a good gun to get out of this game. Kind of got them cornered at this point in time, so another shot into the KV-2 and get behind cover. Thought he was about to shoot, so kind of snapshotted a shot in there and just missed it. Pulling back. He's not looking at us, he just shot, so we can let that aim. Sentinel's the only one left. And you can see we're still hiding behind this. We haven't come out and exposed ourselves very much at all this entire game. And we end up with 2 kills and 15-18 damage. Good for a level 1 mastery badge on it. And keep in mind that, you know, there was only one other tier 5 and we still finished top damage. This tank can certainly hold its own even as bottom tier. Okay, here we are as top tier on Castilla. Got some good TDs and heavies. So I'm going to head over to the windmill. Now we're going to be very cautious as we come around the corner here. Don't want to jump out on 3 or 4 tanks. KV's coming around the side, we get them in the tracks. Bounce that one. So we do have a little bit of trouble here with the KV. But if he angles properly, we can certainly penetrate. Okay, so now we've noticed that they've got 2 up on the ridge there. A little bit of frustration with some of these shots, which unfortunately with this game really could have made a difference. We're holding nicely on the hill. We haven't been spotted again since the T1 spotted us. Here comes DW, and we missed that shot. We were still moving. We didn't sit still long enough. Now we're spotted. So let's get our shot in and back up. Hetzer is doing me no favors, looking the wrong way at this point in time. He finally turns around. But by now we have finished off. And there's that Leo, takes a big chunk out of us. Kind of disappointing that the team let him get all the way behind us. Just waiting for him to pop out, which I doubt he's going to do. I'm not sure what that DW is doing over there. Certainly was not helping out. So decide to go ahead and push on the KV. Frustrating missing that shot. Again, cost me some hit points here in a second because we're going to have to trade. Missed that shot on the move. And you can see he does bounce a few shots. He's got the smaller gun with the high reload. I am trying to get as low to him as possible, hoping that he doesn't have the gun depression. But we finish him off, and it looks like this BDR is AFK. It's still 3-on-3. This is still a tight game. Frustrating shot there with the dispersion. We hit the flat part and don't penetrate. And get rid of the BDR. So now we're up 3 tanks to 2. Got about half my life left. And that DW, I believe it is, hasn't moved all game, so I'm not sure what he's doing over there. Leo's closing in on him. He's still not moving, so my guess is he's AFK, so we're going to be 2-on-2 here in a minute. There's full health T-34, so we are at a hit point disadvantage at this point in time for sure. So I want to try to get around the corner here and see if we can't spot these guys before they drop off. Take a blind shot in there. Probably didn't hit. But now let's get under cover. See if we can't get them coming up the windmill. That was the direction that they were headed. Just trying to do a little side scraping off of both sides of this building just in case they pop up to the right of me. And now we've spotted T-34. Get it, one shot in, get another shot in. Get that last shot in. And where's my help? Where's my help? And here comes Mr. Leo. I get a shot in, but of course I don't have enough hit points. He unloads on me, and that is it. Yeah, so this Sherman, I don't know what he's been doing all game. He sits there. I mean, it's, you know, you're going to have game players like this. Can't even finish off the T-34. At this point, it's basically all over. Leo can just come out and one-shot him. He is going to he's going to bait a shot here. Using that angled armor. He's shot. He can come down. He can circle him and finish him off. So, a little bit of a disappointment for the team, but hey, it happens, right? Got to keep your head up, keep moving forward with these games. But we ended up doing 23-22 damage. It was good for a mastery, even on a losing effort. You can see we had 2 zeros and a 16 and a 162. So 4 tanks managed to land 2 shots. It's kind of tough to win in those circumstances. This game is Copperfield, and we are top tier. They've got some pretty good heavies. So I'm seeing our Churchill headed left. I don't want to be the only one holding hill. So we're going to give him a little push and try to get everybody down here as fast as possible. And they must have come around pretty fast because we are spotted. And T1 is going to get a shot and damage our engine. So he has been pretty aggressive there. We should have dropped off the radar by now. But I'm just hugging this building. And I've decided now, let's go ahead and get a little bit further away into some cover. Bounce that shot off the M3 Lee. Wow, that's disappointing. He's going to give us a second shot. T1 has made a little bit further push. And we are going to use this hard cover here. Get a shot into the side there. There's another shot. Want to make sure that last one goes in. What happened? Thought we had him. Missed that shot. Wasted APCR there. He is finished off. And there is Hetzer. Looks like he's seen us. We'll back away. Only showing him a very steep angle. You can see I'm aiming over the front left corner of the tank. That's about optimal where you want to be as far as maximizing that effective armor. We'll finish off the PZ-38 there. We're up a tank. It looks like they've got two still up on the hill. Get that shot in. That's kind of a nice long distance shot. KV-1 is down here. Was hoping to help with some of those on the team because this KV-1's not really an issue for me at this point in time, but he is not paying us any attention, and we'll finish him off for our third kill. And there's Churchill. Looks like he is coming back up the hill now. So I'm trying to get there as fast as I can. See, he's still coming up the hill. So wasn't sure if he was going to peek over. So you see how I'm trying to make sure I'm always close to cover and have a way out if needed. So it's kind of gotten ridiculous. I don't know what he's doing up there. I was hoping that by getting someone in cap, he would come down. But they didn't want to do that. So I'm going to push my luck on a Churchill that has a lot more hit points than I do. And he is coming around, hoping to get behind him here. Sure enough, there he is. He's turning around sideways for us. We are taking our shot, and we are backing up. Tracked him on that one. Here's another shot. And he got one into us. And that shot into the track does no damage. So I'm thinking, all right, he's only got 40 hit points. Let's just HE it to him for 7. But it doesn't matter. Teammate finishes him off. We just missed out on a kill there. Should have better aimed that last AP round into his lower plate. But anyway, we ended up doing 1940 in damage. 3 kills. Alright, so last game here on Dead Rail as top tier again. And this is kind of an interesting game. One of the things with this many heavies that I like to do is push up to this rock in the center of the map, especially with a tank like this with our good gun depression. We can kind of use this bush for cover, but the Sherman has spotted us. And he doesn't have very good pen numbers, so he bounces that first shot off of our turret. And was trying to aim for the side there, side cheek, but we missed that one big time. And we missed that one big time. I'm not sure what's going on here. Chunked that one into the snow. So I have missed 3 shots right now. Getting a little frustrated. Trying to see if we can bait a shot. Another one into the snow. Finally. Get one to land. KV is pushing hard. Keeping an eye on this so we can get a shot into his side. For whatever reason, he doesn't keep pushing up, and he's going to get shot from multiple sides. How did that shot not go in? We are down, and I've taken a lot of damage already. And here comes another tank pushing hard. Electo has no armor, so nice HE round. There's the Sherman again. Really hasn't taken advantage of the situation of us being turned around. Finally got 2 shots in a row into him. Here comes our heroic KV. Not sure where he's been all game. Keeping an eye on the map, and I am now been circled here by this Churchill. He bounces a shot, and we will get a shot going by. And you know what? I am not even gonna stop. I'm gonna go ahead and get myself up to cover here. There's the Sherman. Let's finish him off. Let's get over this hill and get down to more cover. I'm obviously just a one shot to anybody, and we have managed to get this back down to an even game. So I am continuing on to the outside of the map here and rush a shot there on the move. Obviously that wasn't going to work, and we get another bounce from the Churchill. It's our lucky day. Now I make the mistake of coming out here and taking that shot. I really should have waited to see where he was aiming and let that PZ4 engage him and distract him. But I will let this game keep rolling because this PZ4 as a bottom tier has a great game, and you can see he finishes the Churchill off even though he has the hit point advantage on him. So use this time here to talk real briefly about the Wolverine and the overall gameplay and style. One of the things I do like about it is the turret and being able to rotate obviously your gun. It makes life a lot easier than some of those non-turreted TDs, especially with aim times and stuff like that. So it does have fairly decent penetration numbers, but you're going to struggle. You saw that from time to time on the KV1 or the T1, some of those tier 5 heavies or tier 6 heavies. You will need to switch over to APCR, and you can see there you don't win too many games with 4 zeros on the team. So anyway, hopefully you've learned a few things from this tank and can apply them and become better players. And remember, guys, this is just a game, so have fun out there. And as always, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.